What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back, and today we're taking a look at the brand new 45th Legion Wasteland Hunter set from Joy Toy. This is part of the Battle for the Stars chapter, so let's get into it. And here we have another brand new window packaging from Joy Toy. They've done away with the cardboard boxes and given us this clear container. Here you can see the wonderful artwork on the front. The three figures are included. If you flip up the top, you can see Battle for the Stars. On the bottom it says Wasteland Hunters. Let's flip this around and see what's going on back here. Here you can see all the great accessories that this set comes with. There's all the gear on the side here, the three helmets. Looks like binoculars and another great footlocker. On this side it has the word Joy Toy written in that foil lettering. And on this side it says FTA, Free, Truth, and Alliance. If you're a mint and box collector, this is a great way to display these figures. But let's open it up and see what's inside. Here we have all the wonderful accessories and items that came in the package. I've laid out each of their weapons in front of each figure that's represented in the included pamphlet that comes inside the packaging. Let's start with that first. This has some great artwork on it. It shows you everything that's included. And in front of each figure, it shows which weapons go to which figure. If you flip this over, this is pretty new. It actually shows you a description or a disassembly example on how to take each of the figures apart. If there's any advice I can give you, don't forget to use some form of heat to soften the figure up before you're disassembling them. And now let's take a look at the accessories. Two sets of hands. Looks like some extra knee pads. These really fantastic looking binoculars. Wonderful detail on these. Long sleeves for either of the females. A sniper rifle. And this is new. It's a portable laptop. And as you can see, has a shiny sticker on the front. Great keypad. There's texture on the back and the bottom. And if you fold it up, you can carry it like a briefcase. Pretty neat touch. Let's open it up and put it back. You can see three pistols. And it also comes with this brown footlocker. And if you saw my previous review that came with the blue footlocker, this one is brown. It has the same great hinge system, so it won't wear up or break off. And you can store all the small parts in there. There's detail all around and has a black wash or a light tan wash on it. And there's one thing that they didn't include, which I find rather curious, is they didn't include any of those spare parts or spare joints in case you break an elbow or a knee or even an ankle. I don't know. Maybe my set they just forgot to include it. I want to do this review a little differently. I want to look at each one of these figures individually, and rather than put them on a turntable, I want to bring them up close to the camera, in your face if you will, so you can see all the great textures, paint apps, and detail. Starting with her, let's look at her head. It has a great looking face, painted eyes and lips, and short black hair. She's wearing this white weathered scarf, this tan textured vest, and on the front of the vest there's a black radio, these brown pouches, this red carabiner, and that's so you can hang her rifle off of it. Coming down to her thigh, she has a thigh guard on her left thigh, and down on her shin she has this leather looking shin guard. She has a knee pad on her right knee, great looking boots, and they've even gone so far as texturing the bottom and adding footholes. Turning it to the side, she has a left bicep guard, and on that is written the number 45, which represents the group. Each one of the group members has this number on them. Here you can see the great quilt texture on that thigh guard. Flipping it around to the back, now you can see the tattered white scarf It is flexible, and if you lift it up, you can actually see the backpack that's underneath. You can see the additional ammo on her belt, another pouch, and some clips for her pistol. The wrinkles in her pants with the slight wash to them. Let's lift her arm up and take a look. She has a guard on her right bicep, another carabiner, and a removable knife. Let's see if we can't get this out. This has a serrated edge, a silver blade, and that just slides back in here. And here's her holster. Let's grab one of these pistols and see if we can't put it in here. Just slides in here like so. Perfectly. Put her arm down and let's flip her around to the front. Now you get a better look at her front again. I'm really happy that they actually included a different head sculpt. Let's see what it looks like with this helmet on. And this is her included helmet. And this just slips on over the top. Nice and snug. It's made out of a pliable rubbery plastic. The goggles on the front, and turning it to the side, you can see the teardrop shape. Kind of reminds me of a bicycle helmet. Even though there's no paint apps, they still did a wonderful job with all the detail. I think that's different and definitely interesting. Moving on to the second female of the group. Let's bring her in nice and close, again, so you can see what's going on. Another beautiful face sculpt. Again, the eyes are painted and the lips as well. She's wearing a two-tone brown and light brown ponytail. She has this pliable rubbery scarf. And slide it over, and here you can see the number 45 on her chest plate. She has multiple tan pockets on the front. A brown pouch right here, and a carabiner which is actually hooked onto the belt, which is rubbery. And this is loose. She has a thigh armor on her left thigh, and this one has a pouch on it, and she has the same faux leather looking shin guard. And this figure actually has two knee guards. Dark brown boots, and texture on the bottom of these as well. Turning it to the side, she has a shoulder armor, and I tried slipping it down to her elbows, but it was too loose, and out of the package it was on her shoulder, so that's where I left it. Spinning around to the back side, there's a brown smoke grenade and some more pouches on her utility belt. And here you see all the fantastic detail on the backpack with the black radio and the red hose that goes around to the front. First aid kit underneath that. Again, dark brown pants. Her holster's on her right thigh. And let's try another pistol. Slip this in. Fits in there nice and snug. Great looking detail. And back around to the front. Great detail on these figures. Now this particular figure has a blank head. And that's so you can fit the helmet on. So let's grab the head. Let's pop this off. Wait a minute. Now that I just spun it around to this side, I noticed that she has three tones of hair color. A white, a light tan, and a dark brown with a black wash. That's just crazy detail right there. Well, let's pop the head off. Let's put the blank head on. But before we do that, I want to take the scarf off and point something out to you. All these female figures have a single neck joint with one barbell, unlike the male figures that have two neck joints. Let's put this back on. Pop the head on. That just pops on nice and tight. And the reason why they give you this blank head is because the helmet won't fit on the ponytailed head. So let's pop the helmet on. Take a look at that. It's got a dark brown mouthpiece and a light tan top. All sorts of black accessories and details all over it. On the side view, it kind of looks like something out of Clone Wars or something. Maybe it's just me, the way that eyepieces jut out like that. But another fantastic figure. Let's take this head and move it out of the way, and let's just get it right off camera. And now for the final figure of the group. The only male, and I have to tell you, I've been actually waiting to get my hands on this particular figure, because I wanted to see what kind of tattoos and ink work that they applied on him. But let's take a look at his face sculpt first. He has a 5 o'clock shadow and a curl on his hair. Slick back black hair. He's got this dark brown vest with the number 45, again to represent the entire team. Has a light brown line here which shows the interior of the vest, and a removable knife. This time not a serrated edge but a straight edge. It just slides back in here. Coming down to his waist area, he has a black tactical belt, which is of course removable, with some pouches on the front. He has armor on his left thigh and a bunch of pouches on his right thigh. 2 dark gray knee pads. He has short khaki tan pants, and looks like he has combat boots, and these have a different texture on the bottom with the foot pegs. Let's turn him to the side and let's take a look at the artwork on his arm. This is one of the main reasons why I bought this set. I was really curious to see how well of a detail they did, and if you can look at it, there's an animalistic type mask on his upper bicep, and just behind his elbow there's a masquerade mask, and underneath that there's a small eyeball. Absolute crazy detail for a figure this size. Looking at his thigh armor, it has red lines in black, and his pants have a pleat down the side. Spinning him around to the back, you can see the dark brown and light brown vest with the spine guard on it, and he has a yellow carabiner part of his belt. Again, that comes off if you need to. Great paint wash back here. Let's look at the artwork on this arm. Here he has human skulls going all the way down his arm, down his bicep and on his forearm. And if you spin it around, there's an upside down skull on his forearm and some more skulls right above his elbow. Crazy detail. Getting his arm out of the way, here you can see the white first aid kit, and he has a dark brown holster on his right thigh. Let's grab the last pistol and see if it fits in here. This should just slide right in, and it doesn't actually go in all the way. Maybe if I knock out the bottom, but it is pretty snug. And spinning him around to the front, get another good look at what he looks like. All that wonderful artwork just blows me away. Now he comes with this big silver helmet. Now if you ask me, this looks like something a Mandalorian would wear. And this just goes on top of his head like so. Fits nice and snug. Tell me that's not screaming Boba Fett. And if you don't know who Boba Fett is, he's part of the Star Wars franchise. Has a nice shiny chrome paint texture to it, with the black detail, and on the back there's the word caution. I think you can see that right there. Spinning it around to the side, has some more black detail and texture. And back to the front. Well, I ended up taking his vest off, and that comes out easy enough. All I did was use a little bit of heat, and this is a peg and hole system. There's one on this side and also one on this side. Came off fairly easily. I also took his belt off, and I wanted to show you the tattoos that were hidden by his vest. Now again, I posted a picture because it's really difficult to see, and up on his chest there's actually a cross with a skull in the center and it has wings around it. Down on his belly, or his six-pack, looks like some type of tribal mask that has fur. Great looking sculpt all the way down to his belly button and his abs. Spinning around to the back. It looks like the same exact tattoo that's on his belly. The furry tribal mask, and without a magnifying glass or taking a picture of it and zooming in, you just really can't appreciate all the detail. And with just enough wash, it brings out all the hard work that the sculptors did creating this figure. And if you're a body ink lover, you'll really appreciate this figure once you have it in hand. And now's the perfect time to go over the articulation of the figures. Now mind you, each one of these figures has the same exact articulation. His head moves left and right, looks up about this far, and down about that far. Now again, just to remind you that the male figures have this extra ball joint right here, where the female figures only have one single ball joint. He has swivel right here, or ab crunch. Moves left and right and down. His head looks down so he can look down this far. If you push it back too far, you expose the joint right there, and so you put his head up and you can look up about this far. Coming back to his shoulders, full 360 at both shoulders. Full 360 at the elbow. More than 90-degree bend at the elbow. Now this wrist goes up and down, where this wrist moves in this direction. This is so they can better grip their weapons. And these also swivel 360 degrees. Coming down to his waist, there's a joint right here which swivels left and right and up and down. That's on a ball joint. You can do the splits about this far. There's upper thigh swivel on this leg, and as well as this leg. His leg goes back about this far, and Spartan kick this far.
This is Sparta!
Double bend at the knees. Now on this particular figure, his toes go up this far and down this far, and these are on an ankle rocker. But unlike the females, his foot is solid, so there's no joint right there, like on this one. Her toes can go up and down, where his is completely solid. All the great articulation that we've come to know and love with Joy Toy figures. And lastly, let's get an up-close look at each of the weapons. As you can see, her weapon and his weapon are absolutely identical with the exception of the paint job. They're both AK-47s. They have great paint apps and absolutely great paint sculpt. Flipping it around to this side. And I guess in the post-apocalyptic world, you pick up whatever weapons you come across, and my understanding is the AK-47 is one of the most reliable weapons out there, so good fit. Let's put these back down here and grab the third rifle. Now this looks like something maybe out of the Vector family. Has a great paint job with the yellow and the white and the red. Same on this side. Has the open stock and front foregrip. Great design and great sculpt on this one as well. Let's grab the pistol. See if I can't get this to show up on camera. It's pretty small. You can see it has great sculpt on this. And each one of the figures comes with one of these. And let's not forget about the high-powered sniper rifle. This has a nice brown paint job with white highlights and black. The high-powered scope. It's got the front bipod that's articulated, so it can go up and down. And the same on this side. Another really well-detailed rifle. And the included pamphlet doesn't really designate the sniper rifle to any one of these three, so looks like all three of them can use it. This has been my look at the FTA Wasteland Hunter 3-pack from Joy Toy. From the sculpt and paint, to the incredible tattoo work on the male figure, and all the wonderful accessories, I highly recommend adding this team to your Joy Toy collection or 1/18 scale figures. And as always, I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you like what you see, join the community. Hit that subscribe button. And remember, share your knowledge.